Hello and a very good morning to all the students. I am Shahina Parveen, Assistant Professor Economics from Government Girls College, Jammu. Students, today I'll be teaching you about the first paper of your BA final year studies, that is the theory of international trade. Today, we will be discussing the very famous classical theory of international trade, that is, the absolute advantage theory, which is being propounded by the father of economics, Adam Smith. Before going into the details of the international trade theory, I would like you to understand the basic concept and definition of international trade. International trade is the exchange of capital, goods, and services across international borders or territories. International trade has existed throughout history. Its economic, social, and political importance has been on the rise. International trade theories forms a basic part of the international trade studies. To understand the pattern in international trade, different theories are postulated. Some famous trade theories are as follows. Number one, mercantilism. Then comes the absolute advantage theory. Then there is comparative advantage theory. Then Heckscher-Ohlin factor endowment theory, product life cycle theory, new trade theory, factors diamond theory, or we can say Porter's diamond theory for comparative or competitive advantage. So, आज हम जिस सिद्धांत का अध्ययन करेंगे वो है निरपेक्ष लागत सिद्धांत, absolute advantage theory. The basic essence and origin of this theory comes from the concepts of Adam Smith, which he has propounded or written in his famous book, The Wealth of Nations. The trade theory that first indicated importance of specialization in production and division of labor is based on the idea of theory of absolute advantage, which is developed first by Adam Smith. Here, there are only very important two things to be taken into consideration, and these two things are the specialization in production and the division of labor. उत्पादन में विशिष्टीकरण करना और श्रम का विभाजन. Adam Smith has propounded this theory after analyzing the drawbacks of mercantilism. So we will be discussing the drawbacks of mercantilism. We can say mercantilism weakens a country. Restrictions on free trade decreases country's wealth. Overlooks other factors such as natural resources, manpower, and its skill level, capital, etc. Restrictive policies promoting exports and restrict imports, creating trade barriers. Colonial exploitation. Before the advent of the absolute advantage theory, the world was facing, or we can say the world was experiencing, the theories of mercantilism, which laid emphasis on protective trade. They were not in protection of or in favor of free trade, but Adam Smith was famously known as the champion of free trade. He has laid emphasis on the practice of फ्री ट्रेड. एडम स्मिथ ने अपने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार के विचारों और सिद्धांतों में मुक्त व्यापार का समर्थन किया, जिससे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार में आयात और निर्यात करने में कोई बाधा नहीं आए. सो वी कैन से mercantilism supported the concept of protectionism in trade, which led to its failure. Now, we will be discussing the assumptions of our theory. Very important classical model, and it is formed on the basis of a few assumptions. Trade is between two countries. Here, the very important assumption is that only two nations trade between each other. Only two commodities are traded. Free trade exists between the countries. The only element of cost of production is labor. It is famously said that the absolute advantage theory is a theory of 2:2:1, which means two countries, two commodities, and one factor of production, and that is labor. निरपेक्ष लागत सिद्धांत दो देशों के बीच दो वस्तुओं और एक ही उत्पादन के साधन के साथ होता है. Now, what the theory explains. Adam Smith argued that a country has an absolute advantage in the production of a product when it is more efficient than any other country producing it. Countries should specialize in the production of goods for which they have an absolute advantage and then trade these goods for the goods produced by other countries. In economics, principle of absolute advantage refers to the ability of a party to produce more of a good or service than competitors using the same amount of resources. In crux, we can say every nation is endowed with different kinds of resources and factors of production. So, using the best and more efficient factor of production, a nation should strive for specializing its production for only one commodity in which the nation is more efficient. And the other nation should strive for producing the commodity in which it is more efficient and there is more specialization, there is more division of labor. So all these things will lead to greater trade benefits and gains from trade. Simple terms we will understand here, and these are theories based upon principle of division of labor. निरपेक्ष लागत सिद्धांत श्रम के विभाजन के सिद्धांत पर आश्रित है. फ्री ट्रेड अमंग कंट्रीज कैन इंक्रीज अ कंट्रीज वेल्थ. अगर कोई देश मुक्त व्यापार के सिद्धांत को लागू करता है तो वह उस देश के वेल्थ को बढ़ाने में मदद करेगा. Free trade enables a country to provide a variety of goods and services to its people by specializing in the production of some goods and services and importing others. Every country should specialize in producing those products at cost less than that of other countries and exchange these products with other products produced cheaply by others. प्रत्येक देश को उन्हीं वस्तुओं और सेवाओं का उत्पादन करना चाहिए जिन वस्तुओं और सेवाओं को उत्पादन करने में उस देश की लागतें कम हों और दूसरी वस्तुओं और सेवाओं का आयात करना चाहिए. Now we will be analyzing some gains of trade with the help of numerical example and graphical presentation. Here we are having two nations, Ghana and South Korea. Before trade was happening, these nations were producing both the commodities, cocoa and rice. After the implementation of specialization and division of labor, these nations started producing only one commodity. Suppose Ghana started producing cocoa and South Korea started producing rice. So this specialization in production and division of labor led to greater production of both the commodities. Here we see Ghana is producing 20 units of cocoa and simultaneously South Korea is producing 20 units of rice. Here the process of specialization led to overall increase in the production of both the commodities rather than what was the production by both the nations before the situation of international trade. यहाँ पर दोनों देश व्यापार करने से पहले की स्थिति को अगर हम देखें तो दोनों वस्तुओं का उत्पादन उससे ज़्यादा किया जा रहा है जब दोनों देश ने निरपेक्ष लागत सिद्धांत पर व्यापार किया, क्योंकि दोनों देशों ने एक एक वस्तु का चयन किया जिस वस्तु में उनको उत्पादन की लागत कम आ रही थी या उत्पादन की लागत कम वहन करनी पड़ रही थी. Here also we have made a graph of these two commodities and these two nations. The graph G, G dash, K, K dash, these curves are known as the production possibility curves. The slope of the curve reflects the trade-off of producing one product over the other, representing the opportunity cost. ये उत्पादन संभावना कर्व हैं, उत्पादन संभावना वक्र जिन्हें कहते हैं. ये दोनों देशों ने एक एक वस्तु के लिए बनाए हैं. यहाँ पर एक देश चावल का उत्पादन कर रहा है, दूसरा देश कोको पाउडर का उत्पादन कर रहा है और फाइनली दोनों देश 20 इकाइयाँ राइस की और 20 इकाइयाँ कोको पाउडर की अर्थव्यवस्था में या संपूर्ण विश्व में उत्पादन कर रहे हैं, जिससे पूरे विश्व में इन वस्तुओं का उत्पादन बढ़ रहा है. Now we will see the export and import patterns. Following the principles of absolute advantage theory, various nations can reap the benefits of specialization. We'll be discussing some imports and exports. So it enhances the practice of more exports and more imports, because if a nation is not capable, is not efficiently able to produce a commodity and it is using higher cost of production, then in spite of producing that commodity in its own nation, the nation should rather import that commodity. अर्थात जब किसी देश को किसी भी वस्तु को उत्पादन करने में ज़्यादा लागतों का वहन करना पड़ रहा है, तो उस देश को उस वस्तु के उत्पादन करने के बजाय उस वस्तु का किसी अन्य देश से आयात करना चाहिए और एक अपने देश में कौन सी वस्तु का उत्पादन करना चाहिए जिसमें उसके उत्पादन की लागत कम आए और उसे उत्पादन में विशिष्टीकरण को बढ़ावा देना चाहिए और आगे चलकर उसे निर्यात करना चाहिए. Now we will discuss a few of the advantages, significance, and lastly the limitations of this absolute advantage theory. We can say there are a lot many advantages because we can say it is the initial classical theory which laid the foundation of international trade theories for the future economists. So we can say it has laid the foundation of specialization, then suitability, which refers suitability of the skills of labor of country in producing certain products. Then we can say it helps to reap the better benefits of economies of scale. Now we can say the acquired advantage of absolute advantage theory is they are technology, skills. Now we can say what are the significance of this theory. More quantity of both products, दोनों वस्तुओं की अधिक मात्रा उत्पादन होगी पूरे विश्व में. Increased standard of living for both countries, दोनों देशों के लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड में, जीवन स्तर में वृद्धि होगी. Increased production efficiency, उत्पादन की कार्यकुशलता में वृद्धि होगी. Increase in global efficiency and effectiveness, वैश्विक कुशलता में वृद्धि होगी. Maximization of global productivity and other resources productivity, वैश्विक उत्पादकता में बढ़ोतरी होगी. Now we need to look into a few of the limitations of this theory. They are no absolute advantage for many countries. बहुत से देशों के पास किसी भी एक वस्तु को उत्पादन करने में संपूर्ण या निरपेक्ष लागत नहीं होती. Country size varies. बहुत से देशों की this overall size and landscape of a country also becomes an important point which doesn't lead to more production of a commodity. country by country differences in specialization. हर देश में उत्पादन के साधनों में या उत्पादन की प्रक्रिया में विशिष्टीकरण करने के तरीके अलग अलग होते हैं. डील्स विद लेबर ओनली एंड नेग्लेक्ट्स अदर फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. इस सिद्धांत ने सिर्फ एक ही उत्पादन के साधन पर गौर किया, वो था लेबर, श्रम. नेग्लेक्टेड ट्रांसपोर्ट कॉस्ट. इस सिद्धांत की मान्यताओं में एक मान्यता ये भी है कि इसमें हम ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट, यातायात लागत को नज़रअंदाज करते हैं. थ्योरी इज बेस्ड ऑन एन assumption दैट एक्सचेंज रेट्स आर स्टेबल एंड फिक्स्ड. यह सिद्धांत इस मान्यता पर भी निर्भर करता है कि ये मान लिया जाता है कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर एक्सचेंज रेट क्या रहेगी, स्थिर रहेगी या स्टेबल रहेगी, जो कि अक्सर नहीं होता. वी फेस a lot many times the conditions and circumstances of flexible exchange rates also. So it also assumes that labor can switch between products easily and they will work with same efficiency, which is in reality cannot happen. इस सिद्धांत की एक मान्यता यह भी है कि इसमें as per the last limitation, श्रम की इकाइयाँ अर्थव्यवस्था में समरूप होनी चाहिए और श्रम एक क्षेत्र से दूसरे क्षेत्र में आसानी से प्रचलन या मूवमेंट कर सकता है, which is not the case in reality. So, after studying these limitations, we come to the conclusion that the absolute advantage theory doesn't apply in the present context, and later on a lot many new international theories have also been propounded, which we have discussed, and we will discuss these theories in detailed form in our later classes. Okay, I hope you guys have understood the basic concepts and essence of the absolute advantage theory of international trade. Thank you for listening.